So the big question is this: how can dyslexics like us create a place, a community, a tribe, where people at any stage of life can come and solve any challenge, amplify their strengths, and ultimately help them become who they were meant to be? Or in other words, conquer their dyslexia. That is the question, and this show is the answer. My name's Theo Goff, and welcome to the Conquering Dyslexia podcast. Hi guys, I hope you're doing alright, and I hope... Listen, I've said to myself, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do this little live. I keep on saying to myself, like, no, don't do it, because it's uncomfortable. Because what I want to talk to you about is not all the normal stuff in terms of what I say about, oh yes, it's dyslexia, so I'll conquer dyslexia and all this sort of stuff. I just want to say that get very, very real and get to really understand struggle and really understand, because I've said to myself over and over again and about doing this thing about going live and about sort of like telling people how it is and telling people the goods and the bads, and you have to be 100% authentic and 100% honest with yourself. And that's not an easy thing to do, especially when you do it for the first time, especially when you're starting off, and especially when you want to say that, look, here's the answers, and look, here's sort of like, here's some advice, and here's some tips, and say here's some tips, and then be honest, say loads of struggle, and then be honest and say, look, I'm actually finding this really hard, or I'm struggling so much, and I would like to portray, and I'd like to pretend that everything's easy, that everything's perfect, but I'm not perfect, and I don't know all the answers at all, and most of the time I just feel on instinct for what works, and I see it works, and I've seen it make sense, and that's why I try to tell people about it, because I always say, at least I'd rather find out that I'm wrong sooner, and make a mistake rather than keep on testing out and keep on trying it. Hi Daniel, hope you're doing all right in Russia. But yeah, so basically I'm making this little live. I said to myself, I'll do a live every single day, and do like Conquering Dyslexia show and tell people about dyslexia and about the journey. But I'll be going, if you know, I've been setting up and been shouting about doing webinars, about the webinars and teaching people loads of secrets about dyslexia that I feel would be very valuable, and I feel they'd be unbelievably valuable to people. I do generally feel it deep in my heart, and it's happening in about half an hour now. But I'm having a lot of trouble with it. I'm having a lot of trouble in terms of like, I don't know if, because like when people are there, when people watching it say, oh, this is amazing, and they love it, but I don't know, for example, I do this thing and I've been learning about ads, I've been learning about, how can I get this information out to as many people as possible, because there's certain things in this piece of information that's literally unbelievable. And I say unbelievable, I mean unbelievable, but it's true, and it's like, and it's so incredibly amazing. But anyway, because I've been sort of setting up and learning these things about, okay, how to market, and things about funnels is basically like a better version of a website, and how to actually get funnels and then get ads and this thing. And I've been having ads, and I've been having this plan in my head for ages, and now I'm executing on it. And now it's just like getting to this point where I am here. It's been unbelievably sort of like, there's been loads of struggles, and there's been loads of sort of like, how I describe it in terms of like my strengths. Where I'm really strong at is speaking, is doing this thing, is speaking, is sort of finding out information, is putting together information to teach people, or how can I get this message across? That's where my strengths are. That's what I want. That's kind of like what fuels me, is these passion things. But what holds you back massively, and it hurts, is when when I'm building these funnels and when I'm creating it, and I sort of watch the video of the step-by-step things, what to do, and when I do it step-by-step, or what I think I did it all correctly, it doesn't work. And it literally takes me a couple of days of struggling, and because I know that, because I let that little thing stop me, even though I know there's a way around it. You can go in the long way around it, so getting this piece of software to work, getting this piece of thing to work, I know there's a way around it, but I let that little thing stop me, and it hurts me like a lot, because like I don't like using dyslexia as excuses. It's just hard. Like, it's hard, and when people sort of like, when people say it's dyslexia, people using dyslexia as an excuse, it's the way I personally sort of don't let myself not use it as excuses. Don't say it's hard because I've got dyslexia. Just say it is hard. It is bloody hard doing this thing. And just accept that it's hard and know that it's hard and keep it going even though it's hard. And like with myself, I did not want to do this live. I did not want to do this live thing. Okay, let's do this thing. And I've been writing down all these things I want to do, and I've been letting social media sort of like watching social media all the time and letting it like take advantage of me and waste loads of time. Yesterday I did nothing, even though I wanted to do so much stuff. I did nothing, and it wasn't good. And basically, what I'm doing this thing to be completely authentic and completely saying, look, whatever you want, whatever you like try to go towards, it's going to be incredibly difficult if it's valuable. If it's new, if it's valuable, it will be incredibly difficult. And when you're going towards it, you have to understand that these challenges you face and these massive obstacles you face are the things that when you face them, the harder it is, the better. The harder it is, the more proud you can be. The harder it is, the more things you're going to learn. The harder it is, the more you can teach other people. The harder it is, the more things you can find that you can make better. It's a positive for things to be hard. And I know that and I believe that. But also, I also know that when you have challenges, I'm trying to divert this back to like dyslexia. When you have challenges, you mean in everyday life because of dyslexia, and a lot of this stuff you could say is linked back to dyslexia. It's just, I call it hard. But when you ever have these challenges, you have to keep on going. You have to not let this stop you. And you have to understand something that I'm finding really hard, but I know it's true, is that it's 80% a mindset game. When you're reading and you find it really hard to read, when you're embarrassed in class, when people discriminate against work, when bad things are happening, it's 80% a mindset game. I'd say more like 95%, but let's say 80%. 80% a mindset game, because it's down to your emotions. It's down to how you're thinking, your beliefs, and when hard things are happening, how are you going to react? And how are you going to react isn't down to the strategy, isn't down to having dyslexia, or how you're going to react when these bad situations happen. It's 100% down to your mindset. And I'll be totally honest with you. My mindset of like my standard has been low. It has been low because I think basically I've been distracting myself on social media. I've been beating myself up because of it. But I believe I've been doing that is because I've basically, this is the 7th or 8th webinar I'm going to do, and I spent a lot of money on marketing and getting the thing out there. And basically sort of like marketing for a webinar, and then say for example you have an ad, you get your ad out there to like Facebook or whatever, and people watch that and people click the link, and then I had a lot of struggles with working out ads and actually finding out a way that people can actually click the link and it works. And I can't do it on my phone, I have to be on a laptop, and all these things, I spend money and I try to work out when I fail, and then you work it out, and then I finally got ads to work. Do the right ads, therefore it costs like 6 or 7p per click for the actual to go on my landing page. And before then, my other videos, it would spend 20 quid on a video and it would get like 30 link clicks, something like that. So it wasn't that good. But basically what I'm saying now, so I was getting loads of people in, and then I was getting about 1% optimate, and that means like, for example, 200 people come onto my landing page, and then only 2 people would click to actually be on the webinar, and there's a slower chance they would actually get on the webinar to see the stuff. And basically now this is where I am, is that I know there's this thing, this ClickFunnels is amazing, but basically where I am now, I don't want to get in detail, just chatting. So I want to be honest, and I'm really happy that I have saying the hard stuff that I'm going through, how I'm actually feeling. Anyway, so I'm on the ClickFunnels thing, and there's this one funnel away challenge when you get coached. I've already paid for it, and I haven't logged in because for some reason I cannot work out I don't know if she lied to me or whatever, because the email I used to sign into this one funnel array thing was different than some other email, like by one letter. And she says, no, it wasn't this, it was this. And I copied and pasted both of those emails and put them side by side. I can't work out the bloody difference. I don't know what the difference is. But anyway, she sent me a link to sign on with this email. I tried about 7 times, and I tried about 3 times to change my password because I don't know what's wrong, and I can't sign into it to get more help. And it's using, because I'm a very strong believer that the more you struggle, the more better things can be. Because without struggle, nothing's good can happen. So yeah, that's all I really want to say. In that, look, all this stuff is hard, and I've learned so much from my experience with dyslexia and my experience with kind of having this thing that I feel different and really struggling. And now I'm saying, because I've made loads of progress, and basically I've realised what's out there. There's something out there that can make you read in less than 2.5 hours. It can make any dyslexic person be able to read in 2.5 hours. And that's one thing. And that is truly unbelievable. And I'm not saying that like to hype people up. I'm not saying oh, this is a magic thing out there. Look, it's just here. It's called Universal Reading Method. Get it, watch it, learn it, transform your life, transform my life after everything else I could possibly work on and possibly do. And the only reason I'm doing all this, and the only reason I want to do it, is basically the only reason why I'm trying to shout all the things, the only reason why I want to get things out there, is because I want to change the dyslexia industry. And I've always said at the very, very start, like, what changed me, because I had all the help and all the special help in the world for all my education, and then when I left that school, I was hopeless, I was sad, I was depressed, all these sort of things. But then I learned so many valuable tools, and then you increased my English reading and writing so much, and happiness, and I realised dyslexia was a gift. But my two main outcomes is I want everyone to realise this with dyslexia, and I feel it so strongly, is the first one. If they want to improve their dyslexia, if the only way to improve it is to take 100% responsibility of their dyslexia and of their life, and realise they can improve it, and it's only up to them. And this is the core foundations, 100% responsibility, because if you take responsibility, everything else would make sense, everything else you could work out, everything else you would work towards, because you believe it's possible, you believe you can do it. That's the first principle. And the second one is so much more harder, but so much more valuable. The second one is this. The second one is realising that dyslexia is your greatest gift. Because when people work really hard, and once people get somewhere despite their dyslexia, they have to realise they didn't get there despite dyslexia, they got it because of it. Because they got there because of it. Because this is a little book here. I would never in a million years write my own book. I would never in a million years do this Facebook Live. I'd never in a million years have my own business. I don't want to be an entrepreneur. I just want to get this message out to the world. But I would never do any of this crap in a million years unless I've had the struggles I've had. I would never be the person I am unless I've dealt with so much crap in the past, so much struggles in the past, and developed in a certain way that I'd feel like I have something valuable to give. I would never, ever be that person if I didn't have dyslexia, if I wasn't diagnosed extremely severe with dyslexia. I would never ever be that person. And I can guarantee you, every single day, when I realised this gift, from every single day a couple of years ago, I realised it's a gift. And from that time, I never looked back. And I know it's a gift in my life, and that's the second principle I want people to realise. That's my whole mission. And I want to change the dyslexia industry to make these two principles the norm. Because once you understand dyslexia is a word people make up to describe why people are different. Once you understand that dyslexia is you, once you understand that dyslexia isn't something special, something only 1% can understand, isn't this thing that you can quantify, that you can put on little box and say, this is dyslexics, and just outside the box is nowhere near dyslexics. No, it's not like that. Dyslexia is you, dyslexia is... Anyway, guys, I really hope you had some value from this little honest conversation, and I want to push myself to carry on doing these honest things, because I'm excited for the webinar later. If people watch it, if people don't, I don't know. But yeah, guys, anyway, see you guys later.